Straight ahead on 12 News, a Vatican shocker. For the first time in nearly 600 years, a pope resigns. What local Catholics are saying about it. Then, a state tax filing dilemma. File now or wait. Why it's not an easy answer thanks to pending legislation. But first, a water issue messes up morning commutes and coffee runs in Crystal.
I go, what's going on? And she said, well, we don't have any water because the water main is broken.
12 News starts right now. Crystal officials say it was a water line break that caused detours along Bass Lake Road. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow.
And I'm Mike Johnson. The problem occurred on Saturday night in the 6900 block of Bass Lake Road. The water line break forced the city to shut down westbound Bass Lake Road through the weekend and past the Monday morning rush hour. As Renee Bonneau explains, the location and timing of the break made it tougher to fix.
Early Monday morning, it was water, not traffic, flowing on westbound Bass Lake Road in Crystal. It all started Saturday night when a service line to this laundromat broke, turning this parking lot into an ice skating rink and forcing the shutdown of Bass Lake Road.
Water, when it freezes, it expands. Well, that's what happens with the soils, is there's moisture in them, and that causes the soils to shift and put pressures on the pipes and break them.
It usually takes about a day to repair a water line break, but with this one located underneath a busy county road, Crystal crews had to wait.
With the traffic control and everything, and with the storm we had yesterday, it just has delayed us getting it repaired.
In order for crews to patch the pipe Monday morning, the city shut off water to several businesses along Bass Lake Road, including this Caribou.
I usually get a medium light roast coffee, but today they don't have water, so they gave me a cold press.
The baristas here couldn't make most of their signature steamy brews and mainly sold prepackaged or pre-made drinks.
She said it's highly caffeinated, and that's what's most important.
Most customers refuse to let the break in their routine ruin their day.
It's not an easy situation, and it'll all be fixed. And next week, I'm sure I'll have warm coffee.
In Crystal, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
And the water was turned back on about 10:30 Monday morning. Westbound Bass Lake Road was back open by mid-afternoon.
A memorial service will take place Tuesday to honor a Maple Grove grandmother and grandson who broke through the ice and drowned in Lake Minnetonka. Harlan Dietrich drove his grandmother, Marianne Harem, to the lake to show her the place where he went ice fishing. Their car broke through a channel between Grays Bay and Wayzata Bay. The tragedy has deeply affected employees at the Crave West End restaurant in St. Louis Park, where Dietrich worked. One of the statements posted by the company says Harlan Dietrich was, quote, more than a co-worker or employee. He was a phenomenal friend and close family member to all of us here. A memorial service is planned for 1 p.m. Tuesday at the Champlin American Legion.
In a surprise move today at the Vatican, Pope Benedict XVI announced that he would be stepping down at the end of the month due to health concerns and old age.
It marks the first time in nearly 600 years that a pope has resigned from office. Delane Cleveland got reaction from one local pastor, and he joins us now with more. Delane?
Mike and Alex, Pope Benedict only served in his role as the head of the Catholic Church for about 8 years. And while his legacy has yet to be determined, a Maple Grove priest admitted that charisma certainly wasn't one of the Pope's strong points.
It has to do with his personality. I think he's a little bit more introverted than Pope John Paul II was. So, and I think the world likes to see somebody out there in the public limelight. I think that's a great thing.
Pope Benedict was elected to his position in April of 2005 at the age of 78. However, today at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, he made the announcement that he lacked the strength to do his job during a meeting of Vatican cardinals. Father Don Pache of St. Joseph the Worker Church in Maple Grove praised Pope Benedict's leadership amidst the controversies surrounding the Catholic Church, but he'd like the next pope to offer a new perspective.
More of a perspective from the poor. Those who suffer, those who have no voice, those who seem to be on the margins of attention from society to be, and although this Pope did address those areas, I like to see someone come from that whole experience.
Father Don mentioned that he'd like to see a pope come from Latin America. Meantime, the Archbishop of St. Paul in Minneapolis released a statement today saying that he is saddened by the thought of losing Benedict's strong leadership for the church. The College of Cardinals plans to elect Pope Benedict's successor next month. Mike?
All right, thank you, Delane. Brooklyn Park police are asking neighbors to keep a close eye on vacant homes in their neighborhoods after several recent break-ins.
As the price of copper has gone up, we saw 2 weeks ago a rash of some of our vacant homes being broken into. They appeared to be done by amateurs, not professional people going in for thousands of dollars worth of metal, but they were in there and kind of did a choppy job of taking the copper.
Jerry Gibbs says the thieves took exposed pipes from the basements of several homes, and despite the housing rebound, Brooklyn Park still has more than 500 vacant homes in the city. And police are now asking residents who know of vacant homes nearby to call them when they see something suspicious, even if it's only an unusual car parked in the driveway.
If there generally is not a car that sits in that driveway, the fact that there is one is suspicious activity, and we would much rather get a phone call and go out and respond to a 911 call on that situation and find out that it's maybe the bank checking on it than somebody's in the basement taking copper out.
In addition to catching thieves, a simple call to 911 could also help avoid fires or other problems if someone has been inside a house.
Meanwhile, there are some positive signs in the Brooklyn Park housing market. The median sale prices of single-family homes in January was roughly $152,000. That's up 5% over last year. The supply of homes for sale also continues to decline. There is currently a 5.5-month supply of homes in Brooklyn Park. That's compared to 9 months last year. Less than 6 months is considered a seller's market.
The tax season is on, but if you're working on your Minnesota state income tax, you might want to hold off a few weeks. Even though the state started accepting returns at the end of January, the legislature is still working on issues that could affect your 2012 tax return, like deductions for college education, teacher classroom expenses, and premiums for mortgage insurance. Tax professionals say if you file before the legislature is finished, you may have to take another run at your taxes later.
What we're going to have to do is once the legislature finishes their job, we're going to have to look at all the clients that we've prepared and e-filed already and determine if any of those changes have affected them. So we're going to have to go through every tax return. I mean, I just wish they could take care of their business on time.
Doug Lindgren says a lot of people getting refunds back are choosing to file now to get their money. But if you forget to check back on the changes, you could wind up overpaying or not paying enough tax. In that case, the state may send you a bill with a penalty attached. State Senator Ann Ress says the changes to conform with the federal government tax laws should save Minnesota taxpayers $18 million, and she hopes to have a bill on the governor's desk by the end of this month. Well, coming up, a booming business model thanks to aging baby boomers.
A Maple Grove company is a prime example, and we'll show you up next in Business Matters. Later in sports, Champlin Park skates to a big win in the section girls hockey playoffs.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. A highly visible area of Maple Grove is preparing for construction of a new bank. Great Southern Bank, which is based in Missouri, is proposing to build a new facility in the Fountains at Arbor Lakes development, be located at the intersection of Zachary Lane and 77th Avenue North. Great Southern Bank entered the Twin Cities market last April by moving into the building that once housed Interbank in Maple Grove. Interbank was shut down last year by federal regulators. Oh, what do you get when you take an aging baby boomer population combined with the desire to grow older in your home rather than at a care facility?
And the answer is a successful business concept. In this week's Business Matters, we take a look at a fast-growing franchise focused on in-home care. From this office in Maple Grove, Rick Gass embarked on a new career 3 years ago after 3 decades in the corporate world.
Most of my career was in helping small business people and medium and large business corporations as well, but I've always had a heart for helping people.
Rick started his own business by investing in a home care franchise called Bright Star.
At Bright Star, we know how overwhelming the responsibility of caring for a family member can be.
The franchise offers a full range of at-home caregiving services for babies all the way up to seniors.
We service people in wherever they call home. So it could be in their physical homes, it could be in the assisted living, It could be in a long-term care facility.
Rick's franchise has grown quickly into a 7-figure business with 44 caregivers and about 30 clients, mostly seniors.
Within 10 years, more than 54 million people in the U.S. will be 65 or older.
You're talking about the baby boomers reaching an age where they're going to need some care, and they don't want to go into nursing facilities or assisted living facilities in the same way that my grandparents did.
Franchise expert Mike Welch says Bright Star and other home care businesses are fast growing because of the population they serve, and it's a franchise that can cost less than $150,000.
A modest investment coupled with the opportunity to service a huge demographic, and then add in the fact that the business model has already proven itself out. People have been extremely successful in this industry.
For Rick Gass, business is up 40%, but he's most proud of offering quality, customized care to people at home.
The satisfaction of getting up every day, hiring people, bringing on new clients, and just, bringing peace of mind to people.
Rick Gass's local Bright Star franchise could double its staff in the next year and hire a higher mix of nurses and LPNs as it expands services. Coming up, the ice structure that has people taking a second look in Crystal.
That's pretty cool. But first in sports, Hopkins falls out of first place in Lake Conference boys basketball. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with sports now. Hockey playoffs for girls underway, and a pretty good weekend for one local girls team.
A couple of upsets on the weekend, and you continue play on this week. It is a great time of year in high school sports. Section girls hockey playoffs got underway over the weekend, and one local squad scored a big win. Armstrong-Cooper meeting third seed Hopkins in Section 6AA. Steph Olson passes to Holly Anderley. Her shot deflects off the defenseman's stick and over Aaron O'Neill. 1-0 Armstrong-Cooper. Hopkins dominates the first period, but Lexi Ripka is sharp. She stops all 11 Royals shots to keep it 1-0. Second period on a major power play. Grace Bazal shoots. Jelaine DeYoung tips it home for the Royals, and it's 1-1. A key goal from the third line for Armstrong-Cooper. Tori Adams sets up Kinsley Kellenbeck for her first goal. Armstrong-Cooper retakes the lead. Now watch this. As a bad bounce costs Hopkins. It bounces over the defenseman's stick. Olson is there to the puck. She beats the buzzer with a great move, and it comes with 1 second left in the period. And it's 3-1. Ripka keeps it that way with a big game in net. And Armstrong-Cooper moves on. They score a big 3-1 upset. 4-seed Wayzata hoped a rugged Lake Conference schedule would help them come playoff time. The Trojans face Buffalo in the 6AA quarterfinals. First period, Bison defender Allison Rethke picks the top corner with her shot. It's a power play goal that helps the Bison take a 2-1 lead after one. Coach Becky Wacker and Wayzata trail 3-1 in the second when they pull within a goal. Ellen Rethwich bangs the rebound home. The Trojans later tie it, and they make it 3-3 through 2. Third period, Buffalo goes back in front. Emily Wiegand's shot stopped by goalie McKenna Lorenz, but Abby Haluska is there to knock the rebound in, and it's 4-3 Bison. The Trojans get the equalizer when Steph Kirk scores off the rebound, and it's a 4-4 game. But Buffalo wins it with a power play goal with under 3.5 minutes to go. Emily Varner with the shot and goal for Buffalo as the Bison win it 5-4. In the other games in 6AA, top seed Minnetonka skates past North Metro despite 65 saves for Lauren Torberg. Number 7 seed Maple Grove holds in against 2nd seed Benilde before falling 3-0. That sets up Wednesday's semifinals as Buffalo plays Minnetonka at 5:30 and Armstrong-Cooper takes on BSM at 7:30 at Parade Ice Garden. In Section 5AA, Champlin Park face district rival Anoka in the quarterfinals, and the Rebels play a great game. First period of this one, Maggie Craig follows her own shot, pops in the rebound, 1-0 Champlin Park. Later in the first, Leah Elledge makes a move around the defender and lasers a shot top corner for a goal, and it's 2-0. Second period, Anoka's Blair Perrant gets the breakaway, but Hannah Gettle with a great save in net keeps the Tornadoes off the board. Still in the second, Anoka on the power play, but Haley Adair gets the breakaway and scores a shorthanded goal, 3-0 Champlin Park. Gettle stops 30 of 31 Anoka shots to keep the Rebels in control and in the lead. Elledge adds an empty net goal late. Champlin Park wins 4-1. Rebels will play defending section champion Mounds View Tuesday night. In boys basketball, Hopkins has climbed to number 2 in the state Class 4A rankings. It may not stay there, though, after facing arch rival Minnetonka on Friday. The Skippers on their home court for this one. Riley Deering misses the jumper, but Justin Mose hangs in the air and gets a nice putback basket for Minnetonka. They trail it early, though. Jake Wright, known for his three-point shooting, but he can score inside, too. Gets the hoop in traffic here. 19-16 Royals. This one isn't pretty, but Hopkins gives a buzzer beater as Jamal Davis struggles to get control and forces up a two-hander that bounces and drops. Minnetonka, though, takes control in the second half. Grant Kellogg to Andrew Gross in the corner for a three as the Skippers grab the lead. Malcolm Moore drives to the hoop and scores, and the Skippers are up 11, 50-39. The Royals get back to within 6. On this bucket, it's Wright with the three. He leads the Royals with 23 points. But it's not enough. Deering, who played at Hopkins as a freshman, scores here for the Skippers as Minnetonka hands Hopkins a 73-61 defeat. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you, John. Well, still ahead, it's big, bold, and very cold.
The massive snow creation that has people taking notice in Crystal when we come back.
Finally, a snow sculpture that's so big it needs its own address.
A Crystal family built a snow fort that looks more like an ice castle. Check this out. Tim Smith and his 3 kids started working on this fort before Christmas time, and they've been adding on to it ever since. It has 3 rooms, a tunnel, and a slide, and it measures 30 feet long and more than 6 feet high. Smith says they spend as much time playing in it as they do working on it.
It doesn't seem like it's exercise, but we're out here having fun and playing, and the kids are running around, and it even keeps me fit. So that's why I'm out here, and the love of the outdoors and being with my kids.
The Smiths say they won't be heartbroken when the snow melts. They'll just trade their shovels in for baseball bats. And I was thinking if we get some more snow, they can start building a high-rise, right?
I think they would.
We're still probably due for a good March storm, you've got to figure,
sure.
right?
That's so cool. I mean, if you're a kid, that's it.
Doesn't get better than that. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow beginning at 4.